I stepped away momentarily from my duties as the SourceCon editor to attend the ERE Conference in Austin, Texas earlier this year. And in addition to learning so much about the talent industry, I had the opportunity to chat with luminaries in the space. See for yourself as I report live from ERE. Jim Stroud here, your SourceCon editor, and I'm here with a celebrity, a legend in the HR space.
Old fart.
Kevin Wheeler. Kevin, tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay, I run the Future of Talent Institute. We try to do future forecasts around what's going on in recruitment and learning and development and HR in general. I try to take a very global perspective. I spend a lot of time traveling and collecting information from all over the world and kind of say, what's the world going to look like for us in a few years from now?
Interesting. Now, I have a couple of questions. The first I'll take offline is, what will the lottery numbers be next week, since you're the futurist? But we'll talk about that later.
I'll only tell you, Jim.
Appreciate that. I would like to know, what is recruiting going to look like 5 years from now? So much is changing. Every day is changing. So what's it going to look like in, say, 5 years?
I think we're going to, maybe the first time ever, a lot of people have said things are going to change massively, and they haven't. But I think this time they're really going to.
Okay.
Because of AI. And I think we tend to really underestimate what AI is going to do. The only real question is the timeline and how deeply it's going to embed itself in the corporate world, from big companies down to small ones, right? But I think that recruiters are going to have to transform their skill set pretty much completely. I think you're not going to see anybody, very few people, I won't say nobody, but very few recruiters doing what they do today. Meaning, looking for people, talking to people, screening them, doing personal interviews, chit-chatting online or in person with people. That's going to be a minimal part of their job. I think what people are going to be doing, technology is going to do sourcing mostly. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's certainly going to do all the assessment. Look at these CoderPad, all these companies that are already doing technical assessment. We're doing personality assessments, all kinds of assessments. And there's legal and ethical issues, but those are all going to get ironed out over the next couple of years. Engagement, look at chatbots. We already know every time Gen AI or Google introduces a new feature, it's more and more human-like, more and more personal, more and more powerful than it was before. So if you look at what recruiters do, finding people, screening people, assessing people, chatting with people, that's going to be mostly automated. That doesn't mean 100%. But if you've got 13 people doing it, tomorrow you're going to need 2. And so what I'm looking for, I think one role will be the AI co-pilot, I'm calling it.
Okay.
And the AI co-pilot is the person who understands algorithms, understands technology, checks the technology for bias, helps integrate and build it into the process flow. So they're kind of the guardians of the technology. I guess it'd be akin to an IT administrator type role. That will be a new role.
Okay.
I think another role is going to be what I'm calling a talent architect. And that's going to be the person that creates the talent strategy in partnership with the HR and with the business as to what are we going to need, what kind of people should we be hiring, part-time, full-time, do we need consultants or contractors to do this role? So helping the company and hiring managers make decisions about the kind of people they should hire and what the balance of that workforce should look like. That's going to be an architect role, which I think is another viable. The other one is talent scout, I'm calling it. And that's the person that does what AI can't do in sourcing, which is find those people that aren't online, follow the pockets of people that are pretty much invisible today. And that's going to be a huge role. But it's not going to be doing Boolean, okay? It's not going to be doing any of the traditional sourcing stuff. That's going to be done by HireEasy or 100 other companies, right? So, and if you're recruiting traditional people, hard to find people, even somewhat hard to find people, it's all going to be pretty much automated. So the talent scout is going to be that super person who can really dig into those untapped kinds of people. So those are 3 skills I think recruiters will have to develop and evolve. And then there's I call it the human AI hiring manager liaison. And this is the person that influences hiring managers, helps close candidates, helps overcome objections, is the human and relationship part of it. But there's not going to be 100 of these people. You're not going to need a lot of them, because I really do envision within 5 years, hiring managers pretty much recruiting like we buy things on Amazon.
Wow.
And they're going to go to a portal. They're going to say, I'm looking for something. And they're going to be popped up with a bunch of pre-screened, pre-qualified, all been done by AI people. They'll have choices of, let me find out more, rejection, let me call you in for an interview, or I need to talk to a recruiter about this person. And that would be that human AI liaison person that would come in there and help the hiring manager either learn better about the technology or become better at assessing and understanding that candidate. But for the most part, hiring managers won't need that role.
Wow, that's interesting on so many levels. I know a lot of people are listening and they're like freaking out when they hear this kind of thing. But it makes me think about bank tellers, right? Mm-hmm. When the ATM was first introduced, people thought bank tellers would go away, but you go to the bank tellers are still there. They're just doing different things.
Yeah, they're doing giving you loan officers, mortgage brokers.
Yep.
They transformed into new skills, right?
Yeah.
And there's fewer of them. There used to be 20 tellers. Now there's 3 people doing that loan stuff, right? So
do you think that you mentioned how the talent architect, and so that will be what sources do in the future. What do you think about the assertion that if you want to prepare for tomorrow, some of the skill sets you need to learn about today, I guess, would be analytics, storytelling from data, things like that?
That's all part of that human AI liaison role. Mm-hmm. Analytics was built into the software. Analytics, you don't have to do analytics, it'll do it for you, but it will give you things that you're going to have to make decisions about. Yeah? Okay. It's going to analyze the candidate skill set. It's going to give you a ranking of how this candidate skill set is. This is where the AI co-pilot comes in. Can I believe the technology? How accurate and reliable is the technology? How good are the analytics? And that's where that role is going to play a vital part in helping to give credibility to that software through validation and analytics, historical precedent, and so forth. So it's a big role. That AR co-pilot is a big role, and it's going to require recruiters to learn. Some recruiters should go out right now and start learning everything they can about AI and algorithms. They should really start getting comfortable with the technology big time. The ones that don't want to do that, they should really get into how can I do more on a bigger scale in terms of understanding the labor market, the workforce, our future needs as an organization. How can they start to partner with with HR and other people in the company to kind of get a good understanding of where's the company going and what kinds of people and skills are we going to need and how are we going to get those skills? That's the talent architect. Where are those skills going to come from? Do we have to develop people? Should we start a better learning and development program, or can we go out and hire those people, or maybe they don't exist out there? So that's going to be another huge role. So all of these roles are critical, but they're nothing like what people do today. It's not about interviewing. It's not about sourcing in the traditional way. It's not about doing any of the stuff that recruiters feel comfortable doing. So it's a huge shift.
You've heard it here, people. Learn, adapt, and become like, I think what Jerry Crispin famously says, be a lifelong learner.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to do that. Kevin, thank you so much. If someone wanted more information, wanted to contact you to find out more about what you do and who you are, how can they find you?
I have a free newsletter. You can just subscribe to that at futureoftalent.org is my website.
All good stuff. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.